Hi everyone, welcome to today's tarot reading. So today we have a fun little reading for me to guess what your ideal type of lover is. So feel free to choose more than one group. We have 4 groups today, from left to right: group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. I've attached a GIF that corresponds to each group. So if you would like to choose visually, please feel free to choose based on whichever GIF is you fancy or whichever GIF you feel is calling out to you. Or I think a good way to choose is to close your eyes, take a moment to meditate, and when you open your eyes will naturally drift to the pile that is calling out to you. So I'll leave the timestamps down below, and I'll leave the GIFs looping for about a minute or so that you'd have time to choose. And see you later. Hi Pile 1, let's look at your cards. First up, you've got the Hermit. Rescuer. On the light attributes, it says provide strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. And for the shadow attributes, assumes that the rescued will reciprocate, keeps the rescued one needy. We have here Scorpio. Next up, we have the Mushroom card. We have here the Rebellion card. And finally, we have 3 of Spades, the Grave. So immediately I see that your ideal type is somebody who has a sort of quiet knowing. So with the Hermit card and the Mushroom card, I see that this is someone who is very knowledgeable but is not concerned with showing off their knowledge, is not concerned with showing off showing off their wit for fame. So this isn't somebody witty like a comedian, but this is someone who knows a lot. Like the image I get of the Hermit is of course somebody like a professor, a librarian, somebody who studies a lot. But that isn't necessarily the case, because the Hermit is also about walking away from worldly affairs, understanding that what is valued by other people may not be truly valuable to you. So this is a student of life, somebody who knows a lot about life, who has a lot of wisdom. And the mushrooms are gift of a sense of quiet knowing. They kind of remind me of brains. I'm not sure why. I think it's because of the patterns. And of course, they can grow anywhere without anyone realizing, without anyone noticing, because of how they spread their spores. They can just sprout out anywhere and grow there quietly, being a part of nature, surrounded by plants, even though they aren't really plants, they're fungi. So what I see from Hermit and Mushroom is that this is someone who spreads their knowledge in a very quiet way. Somebody who's a little bit of an old soul. They might be a bit of a loner. They prefer to keep to themselves. Not that they are antisocial, but they are kind of introverted, and they might get drained when they're around other people for long periods of time. But they are interested in other people. They do care about other people. They are very perceptive. They might also be kind of mysterious. This is part of their allure. This is what draws you to them. They might have a lone wolf vibe about to them, and I feel like this makes them extra sexy to you, like makes you want to get to know them a little bit more. And once you get to know them, you realize that there's so much more to them. So like Scorpios, they might not be Scorpio, but like Scorpios, they might be easily misunderstood by other people because of how closed off they feel. But I think that they are very fascinating once you get to know them. They are a little bit quirky, a bit weird, a bit unconventional. Not like mushrooms. Mushrooms to me symbolize what is not easily known. However, they are so mysterious and there's so much to them. There's a strangeness about to them that really attracts people to these different types of mushrooms just growing unexpectedly in places that are familiar to you, in places that are unfamiliar to you, and so on. Mushrooms also give me the sense that this is somebody who communicates very quietly, very peacefully. Just like how mushrooms spread their spores in the wind slowly and let it land on other people. So I see these spores as a metaphor for the wisdom that this person has. So they're not exactly the type who would want to keep all the knowledge to themselves, but at the same time, they don't exactly want to show off how much they know. With the rescuer card, I see that perhaps this person might be a counselor or something like that. They might be very involved in trying to give other people a different perspective. Like it says on the rescuer card, provide strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. They aren't necessarily the type who are very active in helping people. Like they're not necessarily somebody who's very involved in the community, somebody who's a doctor, somebody who goes out there and help people, but they're definitely someone who is there for the people around them. They kind of just drift along, and whoever they see, they might be tempted to communicate with them on a soul level, and through their words they might give other people some wisdom that they might not see on their own. This could be just something nice to saying something nice that brightens up other people's days, or just listening to what they have to say, truly listening to what they have to say. So with the grave, with the rebellion card, with the Scorpio card, and with the hermit card as well, I do see that this is somebody who might have been trapped by, who might have been seduced by the trappings of wealth, of status and all that in the past, but they are ready to put that in the past. They've put that in the past and they've grown as a person as a result of that. So Scorpio and the rebellion card, as I see it, is about transformation. It's about tearing down existing social structures, tearing down existing ideologies, existing mindsets, and trying to come up with something of their own, trying to live their fullest life that is true to themselves. With the Scorpio and the rebellion card, I also see that this is somebody who has a very sexual side and isn't afraid of their own sexuality, isn't ashamed of their own sexuality. They're very bold. With the Grave card and the Scorpio card, I also see that this is somebody who might be interested in the occult. Like I said, with the Hermit as well, interested in alternative knowledge, alternative wisdom, interested in knowing and understanding and seeking knowledge from people who are forgotten by society, forgotten by history. interested in truly knowing about the world, truly knowing about people. I think that this is somebody who's quietly rebellious, just going about doing their own thing. They are not excessively concerned with other people, but they do care about other people. They have a very gentle side to them as well, in the way they communicate with other people, in the way they care about other people's feelings. So I also get the sense that this person might appear to be a bit nerdy or a bit quiet, but you might be surprised by how much passion they hold inside of them. I say that because of the Scorpio card and the Rebellion card. They aren't really the type who wears their heart on their sleeves though, because Scorpios tend to not do that. And well, this person might not be a Scorpio, but they might have the tendency to hide their feelings with the Hermit card and the Mushroom card as well. Mushrooms give me a sort of insidious vibe. You might just find one unexpectedly. And the Hermit, while the Hermit is somebody who is very wise, it's also somebody who is very hard to find and hard to get to know. So this might be somebody who does put in the effort to get to know you, but they might be a little bit more secretive about themselves. With the Grave card, I also get the sense that they might be harboring a secret about themselves. This could be something regarding their childhood that they do not want to let people know, and so on. And that's all I have for group 1. I hope you've enjoyed this reading, and if you like this reading, please consider subscribing and liking this video and leaving a comment. And I hope to see you again. Goodbye. 2, let's look at your cards. First up, we have the Queen of Coins. We have the Knight of Cups. Now, I was only planning to draw one tarot card for today's reading, but these 2 cards just really wanted to fly out together. So there you go. We've got the Queen of Coins and the Knight of Cups. Next up, we have the Sagittarius card. The Prince card. So on the light attribute, it says romantic charm and potential for power. And on the shadow attribute, it says using power for self-aggrandizement. We have the Lion card, the Future card, and the King of Clubs, Sol. So with the Knight of Cups and the Prince card, I see that you are somebody who likes to be swept off the feet. Your ideal type is somebody who's so incredibly romantic, who will surprise you with flowers like you see in the Prince card. Somebody who's very dreamy, somebody who might be a little bit in their own head, but you are so mesmerized by them, by what they say, by how they think, by the romantic things that they say to you. And with the King of Clubs there, the Soul card. So this card is about somebody who's very well read, educated, and intellectual. So with this card and the Prince card and the Knight of Cups card, I think that this might be somebody who is who's very into poetry, and they write you these romantic things. This might even be somebody who is a little bit of a hipster, so they might be into the lost art of letter writing and write you these handwritten letters in beautiful handwriting. They might write you the most romantic poetry. They might even write you a song if they are into songwriting. With the Knight of Cups, I do see that this is also somebody who's very creative. The Sagittarius card and the Knight of Cups tells me that this person is also someone who values their personal freedom a lot. They won't be tied down by anything, and they live in their minds. Sagittarius is also about about philosophy, about wisdom. And this is somebody who's always in their own head. They might always be thinking about the future, what they're going to do in the future, as seen in the future card in the bottom right corner. They aren't tied down tied down with the past, bogged down by the past, bogged down by rules and traditions. They're all about moving forward. They are a free spirit, so they do whatever they want at any given time. They are about living their life to the fullest. And I do think they're also about trying new things. They're having new experiences, traveling, with the Sagittarius card and the future card. And the Lion card and the Soul card makes me think that this might also be somebody who enjoys having attention, even the Prince card as well. So they like to be in the limelight, and they might have a career, an occupation that allows them to be in the limelight in some way or form. And so they could be a musician, a composer. They could even be a writer. I do see that this is somebody who's rather creative. Even though we have the King of Clubs there, who's more about intellect and wisdom and learning. But I think that they use that intellect and wisdom and put it into a creative pursuit. With the future card, now I do, even though we see some dissection going on in the future card, I think that this might be somebody who's very interested in animals and learning about nature and studying the behavior of other creatures. I've taken literally, they might be very into science, into forensics, into studying the human body. But they bring about a creative flair to it. So sometimes creativity manifests in our daily lives in very small ways. For example, a person could have a very conventional job, working in finance and so on, but they bring about a creative flair in problem solving, in communicating with other people. So if this person doesn't have a conventionally creative career, like I said, musician and so on, I do think that they, in their workplace, in their school, or in their community, they are known as a very creative, very dreamy person, very imaginative person. They have an air of otherworldliness about them. They are very exciting to be around. With the Lion card, I get the sense that this is somebody who knows what they want and will get it. Even though they might seem a little bit flighty and unreliable at times with the Knight of Cups and the Sagittarius card. But they have a very clear image of what they want in mind, and they might not seem like it, but they are always working towards it. Perhaps through studying, through gaining wisdom and intellect, like we see in the King of Clubs and the Future card. The Queen of Coins also correspond to some of the other cards in certain ways. So for example, the Queen of Coins, I believe, is ruled by the 9th and 10th house, and it's about higher learning, about journeys, about reputation, career, ambition, and so on. I believe, if I'm correct about that. So this is somebody who's very passionate about carving their own way in life, carving out their own way in life, walking down their own road and doing what they want to do, what they love to do, what lights their fire. The Queen of Coins also makes me think that this is someone who enjoys the finer things in life, who enjoys, if you read the picture on the card, literally, it could be somebody who enjoys being surrounded by nature every now and then. With the Queen of Coins and the Sagittarius card, I do think that this is somebody who likes nature, who likes hiking, who likes exploring different places, different plants, different animals, and so on. But it is also somebody who does enjoy having some luxury in their life. This person is a queen, is a lion, the king of the jungle. They enjoy being surrounded by nice things in life. And perhaps that is why you're attracted to them, because they know how to enjoy life, and when you're with them you feel like you are able to enjoy life as well. You feel like you're surrounded by beauty, by luxury, and so on. The Prince card says that as well. You're being surrounded by flowers, being surrounded by nice food, eating nice food, and so on. So this is all I have for group 2. I hope this resonated with you. Please consider liking and subscribing and leaving a comment if you enjoyed this reading, and I really hope to see you again. Goodbye. Group 3, let's look at your cards. First up, we have the 10 of coins. We have the Capricorn card. We have the Angel card. So on the light attribute, it says helping those in need with no expectation of return. And on the shadow attributes, it says acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. We have here the Eye card, the Lost card, and finally the 10 of clubs, Fortuna. So group 3, immediately I see that this is somebody who is very kind-hearted and very down to earth with the 10 of coins and the Angel card, even the Capricorn card. So Capricorn card is somebody who values tradition, who values morality. Some people can feel a little bit stifled by traditions and rules, but not Capricorn, because they find the beauty in tradition and rules, and they are very down to earth, very grounded. I think in this case, the celebration of tradition and rules in this person manifests in how they uphold values of being sincere with other people, of helping others in need, and so on. So with the 10 of coins, I see that this is somebody who's very involved in the community, who's very involved who's very involved with helping other people, and somebody who might be somebody who likes children, small animals, who cares genuinely cares for other people as well. And the Angel card is self-explanatory. They are like an angel to other people. The Eye card tells me that this is somebody who is very perceptive to what other people are feeling, to what other people need at any given time. They actively seek out people who are feeling lost, like you see in the Lost card, who are feeling bogged down by their emotions, who are feeling depressed, who need help, like children who need help, people who are forgotten by society, and so on. So your ideal type is somebody who actively seeks out these people and try to help them in any way, emotionally. Maybe they try to raise funds for people who need help, and so on. This is somebody with a heart of gold. The 10 of coins makes me think that this is somebody who also feels like a friend to you. So they are not really like a passionate lover like we see in the previous pile, but they are somebody who enjoys the same things as you, try to joke around with you, but they are very sincere in their dealings with you. This isn't somebody who harbors any kind of ulterior motives, or somebody who puts on a front, somebody who cares about money and wealth and status and so on. Actually, let me retract that statement. So with the Capricorn card and the 10 of coins card, I do think that this is somebody who needs stability in their lives. So they might be willing to work very hard to achieve that stability, financial stability. So they might have a very or rather they might have a conventionally stable job, like working in finance, or even being a doctor, a lawyer, and so on, or even just something that would give them financial stability, but at the same time maybe a little bit of recognition. So the 10 of coins is somebody who I think succeeds in society, who has a rather admirable social status because of what they've done, because of the hard work they've put in. Of course, this could be also about their philanthropic efforts. Like I said, this is somebody who really cares about other people, is very caring, very good-hearted, very kind-natured. And with the Capricorn card, maybe they do care a little bit about wealth and about recognition. The Fortuna card, the 10 of clubs in the corner, makes me think that this is somebody who's like who brings about good fortune to other people around them because of how much goodwill they bring. So Fortuna card is like is Lady Luck herself basically, and while this person of course isn't something as magical as Lady Luck herself, but I do think that they try their best to make lives better for other people with the discerning eye, by noticing other people. Now with the eye card and the lost card, it makes me think that this person isn't somebody who would neglect anyone no matter who they are. So the lost card is not just about physical loss, but it's about people who are not visible in society. And the eye card is of course somebody who seeks these people out and try to understand them and try their best to help them, like we see with the Fortuna card and with the other cards, with the Angel card. So I don't think that your ideal card is somebody who is very into making grand romantic gestures, but you prefer someone who's more down to earth, who's kind-hearted, who's faithful and loyal to you, who cares about friends, cares about family, who upholds what they believe in, and so on. The Angel card reminds me of Guardian Angel, and this is somebody who is always there for the people they care for. So you want somebody who's always there for you through thick and thin, who's loyal to you, who always offers you emotional support. The Fortuna card also makes me think that, Fortuna card and the 10 of coins card makes me think that this is somebody who has a cheerful disposition as well. So even though they are actively trying to help people, they are not necessarily someone who is very affected by these negative emotions. They are able to protect their heart and not get bogged down by any negativity that could be around them. So this is somebody who's very emotionally stable and is able to provide emotional care for you. And that is all I have for group 3. I really hope this resonated with you. Please consider liking, subscribing, leaving a comment, and I hope to see you again. Goodbye. Group 4, let's look at your cards. First up, we have the 8 of Swords. The Avenger card. It says desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. And on the shadow attribute, it says resorting to violence in the name of a cause. We have the Libra card. We have here perspective. We have the Praying Mantis card. And we have here 6 of Spades, the Ruin. So group 4, I think that your ideal type is somebody who's very strong-willed. Let's start with the Avenger card. So if you have happened to watch the previous group 3, you know that this is somebody who enjoys helping people. in your case, it's true as well. So this is somebody who cares a lot about justice, about helping those in need. But they are somebody who's more angered about injustice, rather than just being feeling empathy for people who need help. Of course, they do have an empathetic side, but they are somebody who has a more fiery nature, who cares about righteousness, about social justice. So this is somebody who could be very attracted to a career in law, a legal career, or somebody who wants to be a writer and write about the injustices in society, somebody who wants to be a journalist, somebody who wants to work in the UN, who wants to work for human rights groups and so on. This isn't someone who just volunteers and gives volunteers and makes food and cook meals for people who need who cannot afford their daily sustenance and so on. This is somebody who cares about bigger issues. I do see that this is somebody who's a bit of an idealist and more ambitious. So with the Eight of Swords, I see that they might view themselves as somebody who holds that sword to cut off the chains that people are being tied to, the restrictions that people are being unfairly subjected to. They are all about standing up for themselves and standing up for other people and giving other people a voice. They might even be somebody who cares a lot about the environment and wants to give voice to that cause. And I think that you are very attracted to this passionate side of them. The Libra card, of course, also tells us that this is somebody who cares a lot about justice, about social justice, but at the same time, this is somebody who also cares a lot about listening to different perspectives, like we see in the perspective card. So this is not somebody who just blindly believes in a cause without care for the grayer parts of what is right, what is wrong, who wants to understand why people do the things they do. So just to give you an example, while this person is very passionate about upholding justice, they might recognize that some criminals might be driven by their circumstances to do these things and should not be, or rather, and punishment might not be the way to go. There might be somebody who's very passionate about rehabilitation and so on. The Ruins card, the Six of Spades card and the Perspective cards also makes me think that this person is somebody who is rather anti-establishment. They are not just not bound by society and structure, but they abhor these outdated structures. And they want to create something new, something that they feel benefits the world at large. They are also very ambitious, and I think you are very attracted to that. And they truly live by the values that they uphold, so they are not a hypocrite. They make sure that they live their lives in a way that is right to them, that they feel is admirable, that they feel is right and just. So they create these rules for themselves. They don't follow the rules that society imposes on them, but they create these rules for themselves and they live by these rules. So in a way, they could be a little bit rigid, but you like that. But I think you like that that fierceness, that determination. And with the praying mantis card, now the praying mantis card in this deck talks about wit, talks about having fun, even talks about manipulation. So I think that this person is somebody who, even though they have these rigid rules for themselves, they are not rigid about getting what they want. They might be even a little cunning when they are trying to charm you, and might be very witty in their communication with you. So, and you like that dichotomy to them. You like that they are like this blazing warrior of justice, but at the same time they use their wit, their intelligence to try to win you over, to flirt with you, to make you care about their cause. So they're not really the preacher card. They kind of think of ways to make you feel passionate about what they feel passionate about. And this is also part of what drives you to them, what attracts them to you, because it's like their passion is infectious. When you're with them, you care about these greater issues. You feel like you're living out what you are meant to do in life. You are serving something greater than yourself. And sexually, this might be somebody who is a little bit wild and uninhibited in bed. So the Eight of Swords has a BDSM undertone about to it. You know, what with the girl being tied down and having swords around her. And the praying mantis kind of gives me that same vibe as well. They're a little bit dangerous, a little bit dark. If I remember correctly, I think female praying mantis devour the male during courtship or something like that. I'm not very sure about that. I'm not very knowledgeable about insects and animals, but I think I've read something about that before, and this makes me think that this is somebody who's very sexy, who's very passionate in bed, who, you know, metaphorically just takes you and it feels like they're devouring you, swallowing you, and so on. And that's all I have for group 4. I hope this resonated with you, and I hope to see you again. Please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment if you liked the video. Thank you and goodbye.